Data. How much should it drive your decisions, and when should you ditch the data?
Ready or not, here they come. Be sure to visit schoolstatus.com, peachjar.com, nickelstrategies.com, and smore.com. Advocating for public education, sharing our stories and celebrating our schools, students, and staff. From crisis communications to media relations, social media, and everything in between, we're here to give you the best strategies, tools, and techniques to help you help your community. Welcome to the School PR Podcast, brought to you by Peach Jar, School Status, Nickel Strategies, and S'more. Love 'em or leave 'em. Here's your hosts, Matthew Jennings and Ryan Ferran.
All right, welcome back to the School PR Podcast, everyone. We are talking data today. You can sign up for our email list on our Facebook page. You can send us an email, schoolprpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, all that fun stuff. Matthew, we are talking data, and we're taking kind of an opposite approach today, when you should really maybe not let data drive all of your decisions. And we think data is important. I know Trinette's probably very upset at this topic today. She's very data-driven, written like 19 books about using data, and wisely so. But there's certain circumstances when I think you should not really worry about the data, ditch it, and you got to do what you got to do type of things. This came up, we were talking about podcasting on the listserv in California, and good conversation about tools, softwares, all that sort of stuff, what we use. And somebody's asking about downloads and, ROI, and are you getting kind of the reach you want? And to be honest, we have a student one that we've been doing for years in Arcadia, and the numbers are not great. I told the kids, let's change some things, do whatever format you want, but we're going to get to a point where this is not worth doing it because we're not seeing numbers, and that's okay. We'll go in a different direction. I know other school districts, counties, they have podcasts or vlogs, and people now consider video podcasts. If it's podcast is audio only, but you can do both. And the reason why people went to podcasting is because you can lose that video element and save yourself a ton of time, but now people are wanting to add it back. So it's confusing. But the question that somebody brought up was a good one. Are you seeing the numbers on it? And I'm going to say 9 out of 10 districts that are doing this are not seeing great numbers. But that should not be your deciding factor all of the time. So yeah, the numbers aren't great, but there still may be great reasons to do that podcast, tell that story in that format, even though the data says this may not be worth our time, strictly speaking from a data perspective. So my example would be, we all go out for parcel taxes, bond measures, we have budgets, raises, we have strikes and teachers unions. And so you want to get out information about your budget, about finances. And guess what? That's not going to go viral. Not at all. Being very sarcastic. But does that mean just because 20 people only watch that video or read that story to not do it? No, it's very important information. So if you were let to data drive your decision, you wouldn't do that because not many people are going to consume it. But it's very important information that people that want it have it, and it's accessible. So that's one example where I think you go against the data, and it's crucial to do it. I know you probably have a few others as well. So that's where I want people to be cautious of data driving everything.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, you pretty much said it. I mean, I can already hear Trinette, probably Leslie Brewington, starting to grab a hold of the computer screen and start shaking the monitor. But right. No, the deal is, I think, and I'll take it one level further, and this is what I tell my team on the marketing side of the house too, is that you have to understand the data. And even let's say if you have low numbers, and I'll give you a really good example of that, but let's say you have low numbers, you got to understand what that means. It doesn't mean that it's a bad decision or that it's a bad thing. Let's say I've done this before where I'll do a video with a fellow communicator and we'll get 600-700 views. That didn't go viral, but it's professional development. And imagine if I had hosted a webinar and I had 700 people show up to that webinar. That's massive.
Very
to be
true.
honest. Like that's a major ordeal. So if you do a video on like a bond tax or something that's great or critical or just an update to your school district, you get 1,000-2,000 views. No, like Ryan said, we're not making viral content. There are a couple of school districts out there that have things that go viral, and that's really incredible for them, but it's one-offs, and that doesn't do anything to boost anything otherwise functionally moving forward. Moving the needle in their district just gets them attention, kind of a flash in the pot. But what we're talking about here is if you get 1,000 or 2,000 people watching your videos. I know I was doing weekly videos in a couple of my school districts, just highlighting the events that happened each week. They would get 2,000-3,000 views. That's amazing. And that's 2,000 or 3,000 eyeballs in your community, actually in touch with the work that y'all are doing, getting them a glimpse within the walls, within the inner workings. And so it's about understanding that data, and it's not necessarily ignoring or saying, you know what, the numbers aren't going to be great, so the return on investment is not great. It's really looking into what does this actually mean? If I get 600-700 people looking at the content that I'm creating for a school district, it's kind of a big deal. We're not really that exciting, right? We're not like Apple releasing a new iPhone or, I don't know, Nike coming up with some new shoe. We're one of the oldest professions in history, and we do a lot of the same things over and over and over. And so I'm gonna mute real quick because apparently my dog's going crazy.
Go for it. Yeah, it's a good point too, and that shouldn't drive everything because most of our content is not going to go viral. It used to back in the day, or at least Facebook used to tell us it did. And I don't know how much of that was exaggerated numbers. I know I basically caught LinkedIn in a lie saying, this link had so many clicks. And I was like, no, that link did not, because I short linked it and it was such a lie. So, but yeah, the purpose is not for us to go viral. We need to get out information. So data is important, and it can help, should I put it out in this medium or that medium? But it shouldn't be like, should I do this or not? Because only 30 people are going to watch it. It's like, no, like you need to be transparent about finances. You need to be transparent about this. So if you're thinking about doing a podcast, but it's not going to get a ton of views, but it's an easy way to get out information that you want accessible, it may be very well worth doing it.
Absolutely. And like we've covered in the past too, you can even take a press release, right? Like and use AI to turn that into a podcast. I mean, that takes even all the effort out of it, as long as you're being transparent about how you're creating that as well. I don't remember what episode that was, Ryan, but I'm sure you'll pull that up somewhere in a minute and tell everybody. But that was, that's also another option too, where you're not doing a lot of work. And then you're getting more bang for your buck because you're able to push that out on your website as a news item. Then you're able to take that news item and turn that into a podcast. You can push that out on social and other ways. So it's about meeting your audience truly and figuring out where they want to receive information, and then trying to find those lanes of communication, and not limiting yourself to just all your eggs in one basket, or just depending on your website, or just depending on Facebook or Instagram to get information out. It's really looking at that. And then make sure you are also tracking the data on all of this stuff anyway. If you're not, you need to be having a spreadsheet, looking at your social media metrics, website metrics, any of the communication platforms that you're using, that you're in charge of monthly. Just document that stuff, really quick snapshots every single month. That also helps you justify the work that you're putting into, not just for your leadership team and your community at large, but at the end of the year, you can see where your efforts have been best spent. And I know we're kind of flipping data conversation on its head here. So just to kind of circle back around, just remember when you get to the end of the year and you see maybe numbers are lower in the podcast area, that doesn't mean you just nix it. Or maybe your views are lower on one social platform than another. That doesn't mean you nix it. You have to take everything with kind of that grain of salt, and just remember that we aren't creating viral content, that we are, creating information that not everybody's going to connect with or even want to.
And if you're considering doing a podcast, that's new to your district. You haven't been ever doing it before. So your community does not know what platform you're on, how to access you. They may not be podcast listeners. So you need to get it to them. They are not going to find your podcast, I guarantee you. And now it is a competitive, loaded field. It is the fastest growing type of social media in our country and around the world in many countries. So if you think they're going to stumble across your district's podcast, you are sorely mistaken. So it is on you to market it. So it's okay that you're telling it in this new format, but you need to push it out. You need to do email blasts. Don't be afraid. You have the most valuable marketing tool in your district that companies are dying to get a hold of, and you have it and can use it every day, all day long if you want. It's called the email list, and you have context to your target direct demographic. Use it. So it's also about marketing it too. So if you're not marketing your podcast, yeah, nobody's going to find it.
Yeah, so true.
On the flip side, everyone's doing these recruitment videos, and those are getting decent numbers. But are those numbers getting the actual ROI that you want? So you're doing these recruitment videos because you have declining enrollment like most of the country. So you have 1,000 views, 2,000 views. Oh, this is great. We spent $20,000 working with a PR firm to do it. We spent 4 months to do it with our in-house team. Did you get any increase in enrollment? That's the number that you care about. It's nice that people watched it, but your motivation for doing that video was not to get views. Don't mistake it. It was to get enrollment. So that's the number you need to track. That's the direct, accurate data that you're tracking. Don't let views skew your kind of your motivation and the ROI that you're actually intending to get, which a lot of people do on the flip end. Oh, this recruitment video. Yeah, but you lost 50 students and you lost $50,000 doing the video. So you got to be careful with the data, and you got to know what is our goal in this? Because sometimes people listening to this, Matthew, we all know this. Somebody will come to you and say, "Hey, I'd like a video about X."
All the time.
And then you say your next question should be, before we decide to do a video, like, get them off the video right away. What is your goal? Is it to get people to an event, to a fundraiser, to raise money, to get people to sign up for an art class? What is your goal? And then I, as the communications expert, will tell you the best platform, because I can spend 8 hours doing your video that you think is going to get the most results, but I can spend 10 minutes doing a flyer, putting it on Peach Jar, and getting 200 parents signed up for that class, as opposed to a video that they're never going to see. So that's another way to really be discretionary with the data and the end goal.
We need to get your flyer creation cut down, brother, to about 3 to 6 minutes with AI.
Yes, exactly.
You're spending too long on flyers. But yeah, no, absolutely agree. Completely. Yeah. And also, if you're new to the field and you're just shy to say that, man, I don't know, we can talk about that too. But I know that, and I'm talking about the pushback when somebody comes and says, make a video, because I can't tell you how many times that came up almost weekly. Like, oh, we need a video for that. Or we'd be talking about something in executive cabinet, and it'd be like, oh, we need a video for that. And then once you do that, it's posted to the website, posted to the homepage. Like, all right, not everything goes on the homepage, and not everything needs to be a video. So, yeah, if you're listening to this and that's your reality, maybe we need to talk a little bit more. Feel free to reach out. But
I felt for that too for years. It's like, we need a video, and I just assumed the video was the right way to do this message. And it could be, in the end, it could be like, yeah, you know what, this would be a great video. We can do some interviews.
Absolutely.
But that is not the case always. So before you decide to do the video, ask the person, what is the goal you want to achieve? What is the result you want? And then let's work together to really figure that out. And because it could be doing a few flyers or series or a couple Facebook posts that you can do way more, get way more traction on, take less time, and do 9 other things and help 10 other departments and schools than spending all this time on a video that may not get that much traction.
Absolutely. You're totally right, my man.
Want to thank our sponsors and everything they do. We are very appreciative of them. One being Peach Jar. Matthew, I just saw your video. It was very cool that you did in the back of your truck about what you bring when traveling, all of your equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really cool. I liked that. Nickel Strategies, check them out as well. School Status and S'more. They are doing good things. So if you need help with your engagement, your communications, check them out. They will help you with all that.
Yes, we will. Yeah, I've got a short little tailgate series going. That inspired a couple of other tailgate videos because I had to hide from the rain that day. I went up to LA to film like quick little video, like what's in my bag when I travel, and then it just started pouring rain on a random day in LA, and so I had to hide in the back of the truck. But then that inspired like a couple of other videos that I just did off the tailgate too, which is fun.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, it was. I liked how you shot it. It was very interesting. It was
That's
cool.
fun.
Cool to watch.
Oh, well, the next one's even a little bit better, so that's cool. It's good to hear.
Well, it didn't, yeah, that's good. That's good. We talked about in our last episode public versus private sector jobs,
Mm-hmm.
which was very interesting. And it's funny. We were talking about, both of our experience. We both spent a lot of time in both. I think that was a very interesting conversation. We got some comments on our LinkedIn about people, what they prefer, and kind of the consensus was people that at least responded said they preferred public and kind of the servitude, helping others type of thing, which was cool and interesting.
That is beautiful. Now, hey, just to speak to that too, I would say that I know a lot of people in the private sector that feel that they are absolutely performing a service, even a public service, and like giving back. But there's just it's definitely two different worlds. So that's interesting to hear. I will say that since that video, 2 more people have reached out to me to have the conversation. So I don't know how long ago we did that was, but it happens a lot. Get a lot of calls.
One thing I didn't mention is when I was in the private sector, one of my bosses in the newsroom is now with me in the public sector.
Yeah, that's funny.
Colleague, which is really cool and neat.
That's
There's
awesome.
a lot of people that I worked with in the private sector that are now over in the public sector. We talked about after the conference, how to optimize all those opportunities you got. That's in 134. We have, now approaching 140 episodes. So if you have a thought on it, it's out there. I talked with a colleague that wanted to do a call with me and run some emergency comms scenarios by me and kind of get what I thought the steps should be. And they were interested in, here's a scenario. What do you think? How would you do this? Had some follow-up questions. So it was actually a very, I think, smart of them. It was kind of fun for me to go through that and just be like, here's my steps and so they kind of had a situation they had in mind, walked through it, and this is why I would do this. This is my next step. This is who I contact. This is the importance of having the relationship with people in your community, type of thing.
What's interesting? You know what I haven't done with AI? Let me ask you if you have. I think we've all done messaging. Like you go in and you say, hey, I'll make this up. Fire alarm was pulled today and students were out on the field for 15 minutes. Give me a message, right? We've done that, right? What I haven't done, and maybe you have, but I haven't thought about doing this, to take what you just said, go into AI and say, hey, if this happens as a professional schools communicator, what are my steps? I wonder where that would pull information from and what it would spit back out.
Would you like me to try it right now as we speak?
Yeah, let's do this real time. But let's use an actual event. A brief lockdown, less than 15 minutes, all students safe. What are my steps? What steps do I need to take to notify staff, students, community, parents, guardians? All right. And create the messaging and social media messaging for me as well. What do you got?
I put in there, if there is a lockdown at a school and I'm the PR person, what steps should I take and what message should I send to parents and whoever else?
Cool.
So here's what it spit out. Okay. Immediate steps during a school lockdown, PR role. Coordinate with leadership and law enforcement. Number 1, confirm facts before communicating.
Okay.
Understand the nature of the threat, real, potential, or precautionary. Designate a single point of contact for accurate information. That's all number 1, which that's all pretty good.
That's all pretty good, except for the second thing under number 1, which is don't communicate till you have all the facts, which we all know, like, hey, you might need to get a preemptive out, like just saying, hey, right now, more information to follow, that kind of thing. But this is what's happening in the moment. But but keep going.
But you're right. Like, let people know you're aware of something's happening.
Yeah.
Draft and send an initial message. Acknowledge the lockdown. Reassure that student safety is a top priority. Ask for patience and emphasize that updates will follow.
There you go.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Number 3, use official communication channels. Send through your school messaging system, email, text, robocall. Even says robocall, which is impressive.
That is funny.
Post on your district website and social media, if appropriate. Keep messages aligned and consistent across all platforms. Number 4, provide regular factual updates. Avoid speculation.
Wow.
Share what you can, not what you can't confirm.
Wow.
Let people know when the next update will be, when it will come. 5, once lockdown is lifted, share a follow-up. Explain what happened as clearly as allowed by law enforcement. Reinforce the success of safety protocols. Offer mental health support contacts if needed. Wow. And then it gave me a sample initial message to parents.
Wow.
So
you know what we should do, Ryan? We should post that when we post this podcast, post that to social media, say, hey, we discussed AI generating the steps during a crisis or emergency. Here's what it spit back out. What do y'all think? See what kind of engagement we get with that. That is interesting stuff. You know what I want to do next? I want to do the age-old question. Do I send a message or not? So that would be fun. Get into AI and be like, hey, I had some incident happen in only one classroom that was witnessed by only 12 students. Do I send information to the class, the whole school, or district-wide? That would be that'd be the next thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. You were right, though. The one thing is like confirm facts before communicating. Like, yeah, you want to confirm what you know, but you still may need to send something before knowing little to nothing.
Yeah, you might be getting calls right away. I mean, as we know, kids are going to beat us all to the punch on their phones and text messages. That's interesting. I mean, if you're not leveraging AI at this point, you're really behind the game. I mean, talk about AI taking your job. Like, that's kind of scary right there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening right now with AI. And you should definitely, if you haven't yet, we talked about this in previous podcasts, but if you haven't yet, use AI to at least get you started on some of the things that you need to have kind of in your pocket, just the daily routine kind of emergencies and non-events that come up from time to time. Have yourself some messaging that's kind of ready to go. And that's a good start. And you can even run that all back through AI with new details and information, and pops it all up for you, which is cool.
The one thing I've been using it more for, we've been writing several press releases lately, is copy editing.
Yeah, I love it.
Please copy edit this and remove stylistic suggestion. Just give me grammar copy edits. And it's really good at that, quick. And that has been very helpful.
That's cool. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's an incredible tool that is just making daily routine information stuff easier. I mean, you can use it. You can connect it to your calendar and build to-do lists, and you can connect it to spreadsheets that you created and help aggregate data. I mean, it's incredible.
I was just talking to I know you use it like this when you're in different locations. You'll ask it for, what can I go do? I just talked to one of our coaches in the lounge. She has 3 young kids, and spring break is next week. And she said, she just was like, hey, how's it going? She's like, good. I'm just put into AI an agenda for spring break with 3 kids, 2.5 years old, 5 years old, and 7 years old, and kind of on a budget. And she's like, it's amazing. It gave me some things like I forgot, like this park was free that day. Talking about the Griffith Observatory, and she's like, oh, it's really good. She's like, it threw in a beach day. We may or may not do that, but she's like, it was really good. And there's some things that I forgot were reduced rates on this day, and she was very happy with it.
It is really cool, man. And it even tells you, like, would you like more information about the Discovery Science Center? Here's the number for information, or whatever else. Here's the website. I mean, it's just so helpful. So yeah, if you're using Google still, like, move on, man. Go to ChatGPT and do all your searching through AI, because it just aggregates everything for you, makes it so much more efficient.
Who would have thought Google is now like,
seriously,
is like the Betamax of movies.
Exactly. So bad. Sorry, Google.
Did you Redbox that?
Exactly.
Crazy. Yeah. But anyway, so that's a good discussion on data. I just want to caution people how they're using data. Views alone should not be dictating your objectives and success or not success.
Nope.
And sometimes things are just dictated. The superintendent needs this information out. A board member wants this, a superintendent. So if it gets 2 views, it doesn't matter. Somebody wanted it done, and you're going to do it. So
I'm working on a project like that right now. Somebody that said, I need this, and this not even worth it, but I need it.
Exactly. So, and those are things we got to do, and we may not understand the reason for all of them, but it's important to somebody. So there you go. And the other area where we all do this all the time, and you're probably not putting it into this context, but you already are doing this, not really letting data dictate what you put out or what you do, is when you're posting a team or a club or a program on your social media where you know it's not going to get as much traction as something else, but you're still going to do it because it's the right thing to do. Those parents of that program, that team, the players, whoever it may be, are going to love it. And even though you know it's not going viral, it's not going to do as good as some of your other programs, teams, posts, whatever it may be, you're still doing that. And so that's where you're not paying attention to the data. You know it's the right thing to do. You want to showcase those students, that program, and make them feel good. And so that is worth the ROI. So that's how we're already doing this. Another example where we're ditching the data and making decisions because that is the right thing to do. Those kids, those students, those teachers, those advisors deserve that. But yeah, I just want people to not get stuck in the views. I knew this was going to happen with TikTok. Everyone thought their stuff was going viral. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, should I be using TikTok now? Like, oh, let's all get on TikTok. And everyone got on TikTok. And now it's like, where'd all those views go? Yeah, they got us all suckered on. They trapped us like Facebook did years ago, and everyone does. So just data is important. It can help drive decisions, but careful how you use it and don't let it drive every decision.
Absolutely, my man.
Great chatting with you as always. Check us out on Facebook. You can send us an email, schoolprpodcast@gmail.com. You can go to our Facebook page and sign up for our email list to get notifications, new episodes, webinars, all that sort of stuff. You'll be on the cool kids list. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Matthew.
See ya.
Be sure to follow the School PR Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and X, where you can find additional resources and highlights from the show. Please like, subscribe, and all the fun stuff. And most importantly, without our sponsors, this podcast doesn't exist. Please visit schoolstatus.com, peachjar.com, nickelstrategies.com, and smore.com. Until next time, keep learning, inspiring, and making a difference. Thanks so much for your support of the School PR Podcast.